Imagine planting a tree. The first year, nothing much happens. You wonder if it's even growing. By year 5, it's giving a little shade. By year 20, it's feeding your children with fruit. By year 50, it's a legacy, providing shelter, food, and shade for generations you may never even meet. That's exactly how wealth works. The rich don't treat money like a lottery ticket. They treat it like a seed. They plant it, they protect it, and they let time do the heavy lifting. If there's one thing the wealthy understand better than anyone else, it's this. Time is the greatest wealth multiplier. And that's why here on The Wealthy Edge, we focus on timeless principles that help you build lasting wealth, not just quick wins. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What's your tree? What's the one thing you're investing in today that you hope will grow into a legacy tomorrow? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're serious about building forever wealth, not just chasing trends, make sure you hit subscribe and join us here at The Wealthy Edge. This is where we learn to turn patience into prosperity. Most people approach money the way a tourist approaches a buffet. Grab quickly, eat quickly, move quickly. Their goal is to get as much as possible, as fast as possible, before someone else beats them to it. But wealth doesn't work like fast food. It doesn't reward the person who moves the fastest. It rewards the one who can wait the longest. Wealth is slow cooking. It's like a pot of stew simmering on the stove. At first it doesn't smell like much, but give it time, let it absorb, let it marinate, let it develop, and it becomes rich, flavorful, and worth the wait. The impatient, though, can't resist. They buy, they sell, they panic, they repeat. It feels exciting in the moment, but over time they realize they've only fed their anxiety, not their future. The patient, they buy carefully, they hold, and they let time do the heavy lifting. Take Warren Buffett. He bought Coca-Cola stock in 1988. Not only does he still own it more than 3 decades later, but that single decision now pays him hundreds of millions of dollars in dividends every single year. He doesn't flip, he doesn't panic, he just holds. Now contrast that with Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. Years ago, she sold a New York building for a few $1 million, thinking she had made the deal of her life. Today, that very same property would be worth well over $100 million. Her biggest regret, selling too soon. And it's not just Barbara. Even the boldest risk takers fall into this trap. Elon Musk once admitted that cashing out his PayPal stock early was one of his greatest mistakes. Think about that. One of the most visionary entrepreneurs of our time looks back and says, I should have held longer. If Buffett shows us the reward of patience, and Barbara and Musk show us the cost of impatience, then the lesson is clear. Even geniuses lose when they try to outsmart time. Here's the formula the wealthy live by. Money makes money. That money makes even more money. And time multiplies it. It's simple, but it's not obvious. Because in the beginning, the results feel invisible. Think about it. You invest $10,000 at 10% annual growth. After 1 year, it's $11,000. Nothing life-changing. After 10 years, it's $25,000. Okay, now it's noticeable. After 20 years, it's $67,000. You've more than 6 times your money. But after 40 years, that same $10,000 has grown into $452,000. That's the power of staying put. And here's where it gets really relatable. Imagine skipping just one $5 coffee a day and investing it instead. That's about $150 a month. At 10% growth, in 30 years that small daily choice would be worth nearly $300,000. Not because you made more money, not because you got lucky, but because you gave time the chance to multiply small, boring decisions into life-changing results. This is why the wealthy hold forever. They don't get hooked on the thrill of buying and selling. They don't need constant excitement. They're not chasing adrenaline, they're chasing inevitability. Because they know that once compounding gets rolling, the outcome is no longer a gamble. It's a certainty. Now, seeing numbers and charts is one thing, but the real lesson hits home when you see it in everyday life. Let me introduce you to 2 friends, Jaime and Danny. Jaime is always chasing the next big thing. If a stock is trending on social media, he's buying it. If crypto spikes, he's in. If a company makes the news, he can't resist jumping on the hype. He's constantly checking his phone, celebrating small wins one week and panicking the next. After 10 years of this cycle, he's stressed, anxious, and barely ahead of where he started. Danny, on the other hand, takes a very different approach. He buys solid, boring assets, index funds, rental properties, dividend-paying stocks. And here's the key: he doesn't sell. He reinvests every dividend, every rental check, every little gain back into his portfolio. 20 years later, Daniel is quietly wealthy. No stress, no constant panic, no frantic chasing, just steady growth that multiplied over time because he let patience do its work. The difference between them wasn't intelligence. Both had access to the same opportunities. The difference wasn't luck either. It was time in the market versus timing the market. Jaime traded long-term wealth for short-term thrills. Danny let patience turn time into his ally. By now, you've seen how patience and time turn ordinary investments into extraordinary wealth. But not all assets are created equal. Some are fleeting, some are volatile, and some simply aren't built to last. So what should you actually hold forever? The kinds of assets that let time work in your favor. I like to call them the forever assets. Number 1, businesses with moats. Think of companies like Apple, Microsoft, or Coca-Cola, brands that dominate their industries and seem untouchable. Buffett calls these economic castles with strong moats. In this case, a moat is anything that protects a business from competitors, loyal customers, exclusive technology, or a scale so large no newcomer can compete. These are companies you don't buy to flip. You buy them to let decades of growth and dividends accumulate quietly in the background. 2. Cash-flowing real estate. Forget the trendy Airbnb you hope to flip for a quick profit. We're talking about real estate that pays you every month, while appreciating steadily over decades. Every rent check reinvested, every property held adds another layer to your foundation of wealth. It's slow, predictable, and powerful, like planting trees that grow fruit year after year. 3. Index funds owning a piece of the entire economy. Funds like the S&P 500 have created generational wealth for families who simply held and reinvested. No guessing which stock will spike. No racing to time the market. Just a steady long-term march upward. 4. Intellectual property books. Courses, patents, music catalogs, assets that pay you while you sleep. Unlike physical goods, they don't wear out, and their value can grow long after you've created them. One smart creation can generate income for decades, compounding quietly in the background. Number 5. Relationships and reputation. These aren't listed on Wall Street, but they compound the same way. A single introduction, a trusted recommendation, or a strong reputation can unlock opportunities years down the line. Invest in people, and your network becomes a wealth-building engine that grows over time. These are the assets you don't flip. You don't panic sell, you hold forever, because these are the foundations that let patience and time turn small seeds into legacies. So why don't most people hold forever? Because holding feels boring. It feels like nothing is happening. You invest, you wait, and the numbers move slowly, or sometimes even dip, and it can feel like your money is asleep. We live in a world built for instant gratification. TikTok and other social media notifications, they train us to want results now. Quick wins, viral moments, the thrill of checking your balance every hour. But here's the truth: real wealth doesn't work that way. It belongs to those who can delay gratification, those who understand that the biggest gains come from staying the course, not chasing the next trend. Think of a farmer planting seeds. If he digs them up every week to check if they're growing, he'll never harvest a thing. The same is true for money. Check it too often, panic when it dips, jump out at the first sign of trouble, and you've killed the compounding process before it ever had a chance to grow. The rich don't just have money, they have something far rarer: patience, discipline. The ability to sit still while the slow work of growth happens behind the scenes. It's quiet, it's invisible, but over years it transforms modest investments into life-changing wealth. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I acting like the farmer who keeps digging up the seed, or the one who waters it and lets it grow? Think about your investments, your side hustles, even your career. Are you chasing quick wins, or are you letting time do the heavy lifting? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and if you want more strategies to turn patience into real wealth, hit subscribe and join us here on The Wealthy Edge. Here's the truth. The impatient hand over their wealth, the patient, they hold. And when they hold, time becomes their greatest ally. Your job is not to outsmart the market. Your job is to outlast it. Don't just chase quick wins. Build forever wealth. Plant seeds, protect them, let time multiply them, because when you hold forever, you don't just build wealth, you build a legacy.